On what seemed like just another ordinary morning, Americans across the country went about their daily routines, heading to work, dropping kids at school, and sipping coffee in bustling cafes. The sun rose over quiet neighborhoods and the world felt familiar, safe, and predictable. But in a single, shattering moment, that sense of normalcy was ripped away. The nation was jolted by the shocking assassination of conservative figure Charlie Kirk, a public figure whose influence reached millions. The news broke like a tidal wave, interrupting broadcasts and flooding social media feeds. Within minutes, the story spread from coast to coast. People gathered around televisions in offices, airports, and living rooms, their faces etched with disbelief. Politicians, regardless of party, were visibly shaken, struggling to process the gravity of what had just occurred. The public demanded answers, desperate to understand how such a tragedy could happen in broad daylight. Law enforcement rushed to the scene, quickly securing the chaotic area. Emergency vehicles with flashing lights cut through the confusion, while bystanders stood frozen behind police tape, some in tears, others simply stunned into silence. The horror of the moment was palpable, a collective trauma unfolding in real time. The attack was brazen, carried out in full view of the public. Within moments, police apprehended a suspect nearby, Tyler Robinson, a name that would soon dominate headlines. Who was Robinson? Was he acting alone, or was this part of something larger and more sinister? What could have possibly driven him to commit such a violent act? Was it personal, political, or something else entirely? The nation was left reeling, desperate for answers. The FBI, under the leadership of Director Kash Patel, was immediately tasked with unraveling the mystery. The eyes of the nation turned to the Bureau, hoping for swift justice and clarity. The Bureau wasted no time launching a full-scale investigation. Teams of agents worked around the clock, combing through evidence, interviewing witnesses, and coordinating with local authorities. They promised a thorough, transparent process, dedicating every available resource to uncovering the truth. This was more than just a crime, it was a direct attack on the nation's sense of security and stability. Flags flew at half-mast, and government buildings braced for the possibility of further unrest. News outlets declared a national crisis, and the country held its breath. The FBI's expertise in domestic terrorism, digital forensics, and behavioral analysis became crucial. Every detail, no matter how small, was scrutinized for clues that might reveal a motive or a broader conspiracy. Their first priority was clear: stabilize the situation, prevent any further threats, and begin the painstaking process of gathering and preserving evidence. Every second counted. The pressure was immense. Every agent knew their work would be under the microscope, with the media and the public demanding transparency and results. The world was watching. The hunt for the truth behind Charlie Kirk's assassination had begun in earnest. Teams pored over case files, mapped out connections, and strategized their next moves, determined to bring those responsible to justice. The stakes could not have been higher. The outcome of this investigation would shape the nation's future. And everyone knew that what happened next would be remembered for generations. The first 48 hours were critical. Every second counted, and investigators knew that the window to gather fresh evidence was rapidly closing. The pressure was immense, with the eyes of the public and the media fixed on the unfolding case. Agents meticulously scoured the crime scene for evidence: shell casings, fingerprints, stray fibers, and anything else that could provide a lead. Each piece of evidence was carefully bagged and cataloged, as even the smallest detail could prove vital in unraveling the mystery. Teams collected and reviewed hours of video footage from security cameras and bystanders' phones, painstakingly building a timeline of the attack. They searched for any clue: a suspicious figure, a getaway vehicle, or a fleeting moment that might have gone unnoticed. Tyler Robinson quickly became the immediate focus of the investigation. His name surfaced repeatedly in witness statements and preliminary evidence. Investigators searched his home for clues: computers, handwritten notes, financial records, and personal belongings. They hoped to find anything that could shed light on his actions or state of mind leading up to the incident. They aimed to understand not just what Robinson had done, but why. What were his motives? Did he have accomplices, or was he acting alone? The team debated theories and pieced together fragments of information. Simultaneously, another team delved into Robinson's digital life, searching for hidden connections and digital footprints that might reveal more about his intentions. Social media profiles and cell phone records were examined for contacts, recent messages, and ideological leanings. Investigators looked for patterns: unusual communications, radical posts, or links to extremist groups. The digital search soon revealed a significant lead: Robinson's involvement in a private Discord chat group where conversations hinted at deeper plans and possible collaborators. This discovery shifted the investigation's focus dramatically. Suddenly, the case was no longer just about one individual, but about a potential network. Robinson was not alone. He was part of a community, a web of individuals connected by shared interests and possibly shared intentions. The pressing question now loomed larger than ever. Was this group simply a circle of friends, or a network of co-conspirators plotting something bigger? The stakes had just been raised. The investigation was about to expand, reaching into new territories and uncovering layers that no one had anticipated. The puzzle was far from complete, but the next phase was about to begin. The Discord chat room changed everything. What began as a search for a lone wolf became a probe into a potential network. The private group, with about 20 members including Robinson, became the investigation's epicenter. FBI agents realized these conversations could reveal the plot's origins and scope. The chat logs suggested more people may have known about Robinson's intentions, or even encouraged them. Every member became a person of interest. Investigators analyzed the chats for code words, discussions of violence, and references to Charlie Kirk. The challenge linked online personas to real identities. The digital web was now at the heart of a national murder investigation. Accessing the Discord chat room required strict legal procedures. Before investigators could even begin their digital search, they had to meticulously follow the law, ensuring every step was documented and justified. This process involved careful coordination between law enforcement agencies and the judicial system, highlighting the importance of due process in digital investigations. The FBI obtained court warrants, ensuring evidence would be admissible in court. These warrants were not just formalities, they were essential to protect the integrity of the investigation and the rights of those involved. Judges reviewed the requests thoroughly, weighing the evidence and the necessity of accessing private digital spaces. Digital forensic experts began sifting through the data, recovering deleted messages, analyzing timestamps, and tracing IP addresses. Their expertise allowed them to reconstruct conversations that suspects thought were lost forever, piecing together fragments of information to form a complete picture of the online activity. Each digital footprint was preserved for legal scrutiny. Every file, message, and log was carefully cataloged and stored, ensuring that the chain of custody remained unbroken. This meticulous preservation was crucial for presenting credible evidence in court. Analysts mapped communication patterns, identifying who talked most, who discussed violence, and who was active before the attack. By visualizing these connections, investigators could pinpoint key players and understand the structure of the group's interactions. The goal was clear: turn raw data into actionable intelligence. Analysts worked together, cross-referencing digital evidence with other investigative leads, building a comprehensive timeline of events and communications. The digital evidence strengthened the case against Robinson, revealing his motives and planning. Investigators uncovered detailed discussions about logistics, intent, and coordination, leaving little doubt about the premeditated nature of the actions. Messages coordinating with others or expressing intent became key prosecution evidence. These digital conversations provided direct insight into the mindset and intentions of the suspects, making them invaluable in court. In modern investigations, the digital trail is as vital as the physical one. The combination of online and offline evidence creates a fuller, more accurate narrative of events, helping to ensure justice is served. For the FBI, Discord data was a window into the conspiracy. It allowed them to see not just what was planned, but how individuals interacted, collaborated, and ultimately carried out their scheme, proving that in today's world, digital footprints can be just as telling as physical ones. While digital evidence mounted, the FBI turned to traditional police work. Agents interviewed Robinson's family and friends, seeking insight into his behavior and beliefs. Human intelligence provided context that digital data could not. The FBI collaborated closely with local and state police, sharing information and resources. As real identities behind Discord usernames emerged, agents conducted high-stakes interviews nationwide. Each interview tested alibis and stories against digital evidence. Investigators assessed whether individuals were witnesses, co-conspirators, or bystanders. The combination of digital forensics and human testimony built a multi-layered case. By weaving together these threads, the FBI created a compelling narrative of the crime. The investigation was both high-tech and deeply personal. Every detail mattered. The investigation's core question: why was Charlie Kirk targeted? Motive was crucial for both justice and prevention. Analysis of the Discord chats revealed patterns of extremist beliefs and radical rhetoric. Agents searched for manifestos, shared articles, and discussions of political grievances. Was this a hate crime, domestic terrorism, or a personal vendetta? The group's ideology, as revealed in their own words, helped determine the crime's classification and the potential for a wider conspiracy. Understanding the motive was key to unraveling the plot. Was this assassination an isolated act or part of a broader trend? Senators pressed FBI Director Patel on possible links to anti-Christian violence. The FBI compared the attack's motive, methods, and ideology to other incidents nationwide. Massive data analysis sought hidden connections between extremist groups. Identifying a pattern could shift law enforcement from reactive to proactive, disrupting future plots. The investigation aimed to protect more than one victim. It sought to expose a larger threat. Director Patel's commitment signaled the FBI's seriousness. The agency worked to ensure one tragedy would not spark many more. Under intense scrutiny, Director Patel promised a full, unbiased investigation. The FBI followed every lead, no matter where it led. As new evidence and suspects emerged, the Bureau moved deliberately, avoiding rushed judgments. Every piece of evidence was collected and preserved to the highest legal standards. This meticulous approach ensured a strong case in court and upheld the rule of law. A thorough investigation built public trust and sent a clear message: justice would be served. The painstaking work in the Charlie Kirk case was a reminder that only a patient, professional search for truth can deliver real justice. In the end, the nation's safety depended on it.